So now I'd like to show you the overall assignment for our instructional design project and this week's assignment. So for the overall assignment, imagine, I'm right up here, imagine that you have been asked to develop an instructional plan for a piece of our course, TED 530. So what's the topic? Your topic is going to be one of the steps of the ADDIE model. You can choose the step you wish to present. If you want to do analysis, design, it's really up to you. Students. Your students will be master's level graduate students enrolled in an online instructional technology program. So when you need to gather information on your students here at the beginning, we'll be using the folks in the class. So you'll be asking them questions in some manner to get some information about the students. Location. You're planning for a unit that will be presented online. This is an online course, but you can use a tool of your choice. And I think I talked about that in the last video. If you want to use Campus Cruiser, if you have access to that, that would be fine. If you want to use another tool, that would be fine. I'm looking for really a prototype of your instructional design plan. So for this week's assignments, where will we complete the assignment? You're going to complete all of the steps in Google Drive in this shared folder, and I'll show you that in just a moment. And I'll show you instructions on how to create a folder. But before we get there, let's talk about what you're going to do. For this module, for the component 1 piece, for what's due this time, you will create 3 things: a project proposal, a learner analysis, and a needs assessment. These are pretty brief renditions of these 3 components, but let's take a look at what they are. So project proposal. This can just be a paragraph or 2. I'd like you to broadly discuss your ideas for developing an instructional unit. Which stage of ADDIE do you want to cover? What online tool do you think you might use? You can change your mind, but I would just like to discuss, for you to discuss what your ideas are right now as we get started. Learner analysis and needs assessment. For each of these, just a few paragraphs will suffice. You can share the information you've gathered. Think about, we read in the chapters, I think it was in chapter 5, about thinking like a detective and figuring out what your learners need to know and what you need to know about them in order to create an instructional unit that would meet their needs. So spend some time thinking about that. Use our text as a resource, maybe some of those resources we shared last week or other resources online. Think about what you need to know about your learners in order to design a unit that will be helpful to them. Also, think about what you need to know about their prior knowledge. So, you can ask them a few questions about instructional design or the ADDIE step you chose and figure out what they need to know. How will this assignment be assessed? So this week's assignment, creating the folder in our drive, in Google Drive, in our shared folder, doing a project proposal, doing the learner analysis and needs assessment, that will be graded for completion. So as long as it's done, you'll get all the points. And if there's some formative feedback that I can share with you, I will do so to help you with the final project. So in Drive, I've created a shared folder. I set it up so that anyone with the link should be able to get access. Now, hopefully this will work for you, but seems like we always run into a snag when I'm doing a shared folder on Drive. So let's see. I'm going to open this in Google Drive just so that I can create a new folder. So what we have here, look, I'm even going to go all the way back to Drive so we can see what this looks like from the beginning. So I have created a folder called Instructional Design Projects. I'm going to, in that folder, I'm going to create a new folder. This is what I'm asking you to do. And I'd like you to title it with your name, if that makes sense. See, so I have a sample. I'll delete the one that says name, but I have a sample here. Title your folder with your name. And inside there, I have one document, the project component 1. And that document just has project proposal, needs assessment, learner analysis. Does that make sense? Let me see if I can get us back to where we need to be. So If you get access to our shared folder, that's all you'll need to do is click on New and create a new folder, just as I did here. New folder, title it with your name, and we'll be all set. Thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing your ideas.